questions?
I understand how you advertise to like the buyers, but how do you advertise to get the consigners to?
That's an excellent question, and actually it's a lot of work because you really have to, I thought, you know, having a big network of people here, that I was going to send out this idea and everybody was going to jump on it, but it is very grueling to get your base. So the first sale I did is I really networked with my group. I got a lot of sacrificial people. And then when people come to the sale, I keep a logbook. And everybody, I ask them to write their name and email. And every single sale I pick up, you know, maybe 25% of the people in the log. And this will be my 5th sale, and this is the first time that I haven't had to do any additional advertising to get consigners. But the other way that I did is through newspaper ads and the Facebook page, just constant emails and pushes. But luckily, I'm finally at the stage where I don't have to push as much, because it is a fine line. I mean, you still see there's preparation here, and it takes some time. But the benefit is, after 4 days, you get a nice check. But you still have to tag and write your items, which is different than throwing them in a bag for the consignment store. So you do have to find the right person that's willing to do the time. So, yeah, it's a question. Yeah.
You can talk about where and how you purchased your display items and the fitting room issues that you dealt with.
Yeah, the racks were quite a big challenge to figure out what racks to have. There's so many different options. So I went into Providence. There's a place called BSI. It's a business supply warehouse, and they have a huge old factory. And the first floor is all brand new fixtures, and the second floor are fixtures from closeout from stores that have closed. So I went through there and looked at the capacity of each of the racks. I looked at the space in my floor plan, what kind of racks could fit, and I could maximize both the display and how to do that. And I really got almost all of my racks through there. And then subsequently added in the grids to show things. And yeah, the fitting rooms were also a problem, because the first few times I just sort of put those fans up, you know, sort of a freestyle, you can fit as you want. And I found a lot of people were hesitant to try things on like that. So I ended up buying cabanas, beach cabanas, which were great. They actually were from my other girlfriend's sale. I borrowed them from her, but 4 separate beach cabanas, which actually elevated the overall look of the sale and allowed for people to shop and try on with a little bit more privacy and comfort. So that was great. But I mean, there's learnings every time, because you know, you don't have a year that you're sitting around with free time looking at this to make improvements. You have 4 days, and it's probably in a new spot every time. And on it, usually when I open the door from 10 o'clock until 5 o'clock, I barely leave the register. It is like constant sales. So, you know, you don't get much time to move and groove and make changes. You just try to think about integrating those into the next sale. So, anything else? Yeah.
Do you get mostly new items, or is it like new and old?
Yes, it's I would say probably it's about 15 to 20% new items in general, but everything is from someone's closet for the most part, aside from a few local retailers that I work with. So, but a lot of things are new in someone's closet. So, yeah.
Since you're not like a traditional brick and mortar store, is loss prevention like ever a problem? Have you had things,
Yes.
and how do you deal with that when like clients like, where's my stuff?
Yeah, that actually has been quite a bit of a problem, and I have changed and modified as I go. The first few sales, jewelry was a big problem, because of course it would get pocketed. And everybody has a different perception. I mean, for me, I always have 4 or 5 larger pieces that go, and my perspective is it's just part of the cost of doing business, so I pay for them, but I try to modify. So now, with the volunteers that I talk about, I have 2 volunteers stationed at the jewelry, okay? So last year they beat me, because I had the 2 people volunteered stationed at the jewelry, but then they were into my sunglasses. So someone took a $75 pair of sunglasses. So, I mean, the way actually I'm going to integrate that, this sale is ask for anything over $75 to come to me. And I can sort of then at least know in my mind what are the things to look at, because we often have a couple of bags that are $300 to $500 that are out, you know, but usually they're high-end brands that I know about and I recognize. But something like a pair of sunglasses that may, when I have 5,000 items I'm managing in a day, it slips by. I'm gonna ask anybody with anything over $75 to like leave it at my desk, and then I'll kind of figure out how to manage it. But it is a problem. There's theft always, and it's just trying to manage it. And the other big area is the fitting rooms. I have someone stationed outside. I don't necessarily write it down, but I think as long as we ask, you know, here's your fitting room and come out. You know, we try to offer a traditional brick and mortar experience, even though it's not. So someone outside the fitting room preventing your awareness, I think, helps reduce that as well. So, yeah.
Since you mentioned the theft of designer items, did you ever think about doing just a table full of designer items like designer sunglasses and then like the higher end stuff is all at one table in one area?
That's a good idea. I mean, the only reason I haven't done that in the past is because the space is so tight. I've always opted for merchandising by category versus that, but yeah, that is a really good idea now that I have a little bit more space. And I do certainly find there's some shoppers that come in, they're like, I bought a Tiffany keychain here last time, or, you know, I bought a Chanel little purse there, where's that stuff? And it's like, go look around. But if there was a space that said like, these are the primo grade things someone should find, then that's a good idea. Anyone else?
Thank you very much. Okay, so onward, next week we have another UR grad, Baptist Master's Graduate Program. And she's really into thinking.